So guys, back at the transporter 1.9 again. I've gone ahead and cleaned out the sump. There's a rubber gasket on it. I'll put a little bit of RTV on it. This bracket went back on. Bolt there. There's a bolt here at the back, and there's one more around the back and under the drive shaft in there. You just about see him. So that holds that on, and then you've three more holding on the power steering pump. So simple enough. I'm going to just tighten them up and I'll get back to you. So that's them three tightened up. Power steering pump is nice and tight. Next thing is your pulley. Here we go. Yeah, this is going to have one position that it goes on, and you'll find a little dowel right here, a little spud we'll call it. So he has a one position that he'll go on. I think you'll see it there now. So yeah, you see that little hole. So he goes back on just like that, and I can actually use my camera to see. So rotate him around a little bit more. Yeah, I'll have to drop my lift a little bit. Because I just can't see what I'm doing. Yeah, there we go. So that's lined up pretty close. One-handed is not very good. Maybe someone could advise me on some sort of a holder for the camera while I'm doing this. Maybe magnetic. Magnetic would probably be the thing. But I'm going to go ahead now and tighten those up, and I'll get back to you then. So that's them installed now. Next is going to be, oh yeah, this pump, this wheel. This is interesting. It's got a stack of shims, and the pulley comes in two halves. So I imagine first off is fit the inner half of the pulley like that, and then I'm going to pop the belt on. Now I don't know how these are tensioned, I really don't, but I'm wondering, is it done with shims? I don't know, but I'm going to need two hands probably to get this on, so I will put that back. She's been slipping a good bit, so I'll have to have a little look and see what that happens or what that does. Especially those shims, you'd imagine some of them are supposed to go between the pulley for a different thickness belt. I don't know, maybe it's for spacing it out. If you've an issue in here, I do not know. But it seemed kind of tight, so I'll reinstall that now. And of course I've made a mistake. Anyone spotted it? I had to put this one on first. Silly me. Anywho. Alternator belt on first. He goes in around that. And back this way. And around. He should go on there, but let's get it in nice and tight. I need to push him back a little bit further. Won't be doing that with one hand, so you just slacken off your bolt, push him in with the bar, and then you can get the belt on. So belt on. It's a matter of just opening this then. This is your tensioner for your alternator. So she'll flick around. Here we go. I'll just give it a little squeeze. Let me push that way. Tighten up your adjuster. And on the side. Tighten up your top bolt then on your alternator. So I can focus on it. There we go. Now, there's squeeze. Just to be sure. Yes, that's nice and tight. This had a squealy alternator belt. So now I can go ahead and put this on. So there's the power steering belt like on. Alternator belt, and it's not very tight. But I don't know. I think these shims maybe when you get the belt it's thicker. And these bring it out a little bit. There's a space between the pulley because it's a split pulley. And as it wears down, you put the shims back on the outside. And this is probably worn a bit, I don't know. But if it squeals, we'll have to get a new belt. That's not the end of the world. But yeah, getting closer now. Just put the rocker cover back on it. Before I let it down, I'm going to take that filter off. I have a new filter there. So that will be going back on it right now. And I'll get back to you. So, filter off. Just air drip there for a minute. But yeah, always make sure that that ring is on the old filter when you take it off. Sometimes that will stick to the engine side and you don't want that happening. It happened to me once in England when I was doing my time, and it'll empty the sump pretty quick. So little bit of oil on the seal, and never ever be tempted to put oil in the filter, because what you do is you create an airlock. It sounds stupid, but it'll fill the filter in 20 seconds, 20 milliseconds anyway. But if you put oil in the filter, the pump is trying to pull up air and it can't get the oil. So what happens then is you've created an airlock because you've turned this into a block. Now once it gets past the gears and the oil pump, it will push through, but it might not. Sometimes it doesn't. Some of the Caterpillar machines, the diggers, big machines, they'll lock up. They'll lock up in a second. All because people put oil in the filter. So just don't do it. Simple as that. So, and it's even written on the filter. Installation instructions: apply a thin film of oil to the gasket. Screw on filter tightly by hand. Start the engine and check for leaks. There's no mention of filling the filter with oil. And the other thing as well is you're just introducing dirt. That's what can happen too. You end up throwing a bit of dirt into your engine. It's another no-no. So time to put the rocker cover on. The only place I put sealant is just around the end of the cam, or the end of the rocker, and in the corners. That's the only place it'll really leak. I can't do this with one hand, so I'm going to have to take down the camera. So last it'll look back into the camshaft, and next time you see it, that lid will be on it. So rocker cover back on, breather pipe back on, breather hose back on. I'm going to leave that off for the minute. The intake, there's no harm. That's the blower, the breather. These are away from the belt, these two yokes. I've topped her up with oil, so 5 litres of the finest gone into it. Just looking around and out, make sure everything is good. I've turned the engine over a few times, so I know that it's not making any contact with valves and everything. The timing is right. I've checked it again and checked it again, so I'm pretty confident nothing there is going to fall in. Right, it's moment of truth time. So I'll just reconnect your earth and your battery. Nice and tight. So fingers crossed. I might get someone to give me a hand actually just to start it. So I'm going to give her a little heat now, and I have an assistant. He's going to give her a start. I did say let it heat up, didn't I? See the heater? It's a glow plug? Yeah. Good man. So fingers crossed now, guys. Will she start? Switch off the fan. Let's see, she's heated by now, is it? Did the glow plug go out? Right, we'll switch her off and switch her back on again. Yeah, when the light goes out, start it. Switch her off? Yeah. I done that. Yeah, sucked in my hand. Right, well, it sounds good. I'm going to put the air breather back on now, and probably the covers in it as well, just to but yeah, that's quieting down. I'll know a bit more now when I put the air filter back on, because that night it's quite noisy. So I'll get back to you then when I have that done. So that's the air box back on, time belt cover back on, breather pipe back on. So we'll see what she sounds like now. What a difference a few followers makes. Wow. You do remember what it sounded like from the beginning? It was rattling like a motherfucker. So there you go, folks. That's what you're looking for. Cam followers. A set of those and a crankshaft. I could have got a new camshaft somewhere, but I just couldn't. Instead of her running there for a minute. Usual little rattle from a diesel, they're not the quietest engines anyway. Yeah, I'm well happy with that. Well happy with that. First tip of the key as well. So the timing is now correct on it. I'm not sure if it was before. Yeah. 130,000 miles. Turn off the light. Yeah. So there you go. Who'd have thunk? A few cam followers. So yeah, you hear that noise on a transporter now, you know what it is. And it's going to be the same for the 2.4 and the 2.5. Just a little bit of wear. That one was the worst one, I think. Yeah, but see, the inside of these are probably destroyed as well, so it's probably, I don't know, it could be full of stuff. Who knows? These rotate as well. They're little plungers, but they could be destroyed inside. Very hard to know. But what you're looking for on the camshaft, I'll just repeat myself as it was. Here's a follower. Is 2 wear points here. If we can get it to come up. Yeah, see the pits on the very end of the camshaft. That just confirms that it's flattened. So the roundy curve has gone off this, and that's what's happening there. She's just bashing them square, and they're all gone. That one's as well. Just make it out. It's rough, you can feel it. Here's our worst one. Yeah, that one there. Where's the camera pointing? Yeah. There, you can just make it out. So that's one for the books, guys. Checked underneath her now, she's not leaking oil. She's running away good though. So I'll leave it at that. So another successful fix at the Gears Garage. I'll leave it at that, lads. Hope you enjoyed them few videos. If you haven't already, just subscribe, hit the like button. It helps the channel and the algorithms and whatever goes on. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be that up to date. But yeah, I'll leave it at that now for tonight's video. Success at last.